Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for November 10, 2025. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, the Senate is working towards a resolution, with White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett warning of potential economic downturn if the shutdown persists. He expressed concerns that the shortage of air traffic controllers could lead to a negative fourth quarter for the economy, especially given the importance of Thanksgiving travel. Secondly, air travel across the U.S. has been severely impacted due to staffing shortages among air traffic controllers. The Federal Aviation Administration has implemented flight reductions at high-traffic airports, resulting in significant delays and cancellations. Over 10,000 flights have been delayed and more than 5,000 canceled as of Sunday morning. Lastly, we're seeing growing concerns about the shutdown's impact on various sectors of the economy, including aviation and tourism. The situation remains fluid, with both sides working towards a resolution. Military paychecks could potentially stop on November 15th, while SNAP benefits continue to be administered under the law, albeit with some challenges. We'll continue to monitor these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we urge all travelers to check with their airlines for the latest flight status updates and plan accordingly, and that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know it's right now. I'm Barbara Waters. We're starting your day with a quick rundown of the top stories we've been following. First, President Trump has announced plans to send at least $2,000 directly to Americans using tariff revenue. This move comes as the Supreme Court hears arguments challenging the president's controversial tariff policy. The details of this plan are still unclear, but it could have significant implications for many households across the country. In other news, the ongoing government shutdown has been causing disruptions in air travel, with thousands of flights delayed or canceled nationwide. We've spoken to travelers who have been affected by these delays, and will continue to bring you updates on this story as more information becomes available. We also reported on the world of trade and tariffs, where President Donald Trump made a promise to reward taxpayers using tariff revenue. The Supreme Court is considering two cases that challenge the legality of the president's method of broadly imposing tariffs. Lastly, we covered a developing story affecting thousands of travelers across the United States, with flight delays and cancellations mounting at major airports due to the government shutdown. This is AIDailyPress reporting. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. We're starting off with a dose of reality check on the U.S. labor market. The latest numbers from ADP show private sector hiring has slowed down significantly, with only 58,000 jobs added in October. This slowdown is accompanied by a rise in layoffs, particularly in the tech and retail sectors. In fact, over 52,000 job cuts were announced in October, the worst for that month since 2015. Meanwhile, CoreWeave's $9 billion all-stock deal to acquire Core Scientific has been rejected by shareholders, sending shockwaves through the AI industry. Despite this setback, Wall Street remains cautiously optimistic about CoreWeave's long-term growth prospects. And on a global note, we're keeping an eye on the markets as investors react to the latest developments in the U.S. economy. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Survey shows a plunge to 54.7 in November, the lowest since 2011, amid worries over the government shutdown and rising prices. We'll be diving deeper into these stories throughout the day, but for now, it's clear that the U.S. labor market is losing steam, and policymakers need to take note. We'll keep you updated on all the latest developments. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket has faced a setback with its second flight postponed due to weather conditions and equipment issues. This delay is a significant blow to Jeff Bezos' space company, which is aiming to challenge SpaceX's dominance in the launch industry. In other news, researchers have made a groundbreaking discovery in the field of biological origami, uncovering the secrets behind the intricate folding mechanisms found in nature. From extendable necks to delicate insect wings, scientists are exploring the potential applications of these complex structures in fields like robotics and engineering. And finally, we're still marveling at the wonders of the universe, with a recent report taking us on a journey through the vastness and beauty that surrounds us all. From the stars to the planets, space exploration continues to inspire and captivate us, with companies like Blue Origin and NASA pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, the Buffalo Bills suffered a significant setback with their 31-6 loss to the Miami Dolphins, which has raised concerns about their ability to compete against top-tier opponents. The team's lack of depth at the wide receiver position was evident, and quarterback Josh Allen's efforts were not enough to overcome this deficiency. On the other hand, the Baltimore Ravens have emerged as playoff contenders with 3 consecutive victories, putting them just 1 game behind the Jacksonville Jaguars for the final wildcard spot in the AFC. Their upcoming schedule looks favorable, which could potentially propel them to a 6-game winning streak. We also saw impressive performances from rookie quarterbacks Tyler Shough and Jackson Dart, although the latter has been cautioned about his playing style after suffering another concussion. As the NFL season continues to unfold, the playoff picture remains fluid, with each game taking on added significance. Lastly, we reported on the injury to Los Angeles Chargers tight end Oronde Gadsden II, which could impact their offense. The team will need to reassess their approach and explore alternative options to compensate for the potential loss of their dynamic tight end. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curall.
Thank you, Howard. First, we took a journey to Ghana, where a tragic event unfolded in the industrial city of Tema. A British man, Ashraf Kamar Parvez, lost his life during a robbery attempt. Our thoughts are with his family and friends as they navigate this difficult time. Next, we visited Melbourne's vibrant culinary scene, where a new restaurant is making waves. Daphne, located in the heart of Brunswick East, promises to bring a fresh face to Lygon Street with its unique blend of old and new design, innovative twists on familiar dishes, and an impressive beverage program. Lastly, we reflected on the importance of community and human connection in the face of adversity. Whether it's a tragic event or a celebration of culinary innovation, it's the bonds we form with others that give us strength and hope for a better tomorrow. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we took a closer look at the future of Hollywood, exploring how the iconic neighborhood is at a crossroads, balancing nostalgia for its past glory with the need to adapt and innovate in the face of technological advancements and changing demographics. Next, we delved into the world of celebrity entrepreneurship, examining Kim Kardashian's astonishing net worth of $1.7 billion and her savvy business ventures, from shapewear to skincare, that have cemented her status as a force to be reckoned with in the industry. Lastly, we recap the latest episode of Saturday Night Live, hosted by the talented Nikki Glazer, who brought her A-game with a confident monologue, impressive singing voice, and fearless performances in sketches like American Doll XL and Mechanical Bull. We also gave a shout-out to Somber's standout performances and the episode's wide range of hilarious and nostalgic sketches. Tune in next time for more updates on entertainment, business, and culture. And don't forget to catch Glenn Powell hosting SNL with musical guest Olivia Dean. It's going to be a wild ride. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David to Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, the proposed drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge has sparked widespread concern among environmentalists and indigenous communities. The project poses a significant threat to the region's fragile ecosystem and the wildlife that inhabits it. Secondly, the 16th Epson International Panel Awards have showcased breathtaking images of our natural world, from majestic landscapes to poignant portraits of traditional ways of life. These photographs remind us of the importance of preserving our planet's beauty and biodiversity. Lastly, in Okinawa, Japan, sea turtle nesting sites are under threat due to coastal erosion. The loss of these endangered species could have far-reaching implications for marine biodiversity and the ecosystem as a whole. Conservation efforts are underway, but more needs to be done to protect these beaches and restore them to their former state. These stories underscore the interconnectedness of our planet and the need for collective action to preserve its beauty and biodiversity. We'll be discussing these topics in more detail throughout the day, and that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atanacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.